What's up, homies? Science Bro here. We're going to tell you about the main parts of a volcano. Alright, thanks, Science Bro. And now we're going to get into what the actual parts are of the volcano. So here's our diagram here. We got 15 parts of the volcano to go over with here. So first, we're going to start with our first one down here. This right here, this is the magma chamber. Kind of right at the bottom, right down there. It's where all that magma is kind of getting stored. Next up to go into number 2. Number 2 over here. This is known as bedrock. Kind of like at the very bottom, underneath the ground. Right there, the volcano. Going at number 3, it's that really long one up here. This is what's known as the conduit, or like the pipe of the volcano. A very important part that we'll get into later about. And over here at number 4, this is the base of the volcano. Just kind of like the bottom layer, this is the base. Next up we got number 5 here. Number 5 here is the still of the volcano. Just kind of that little side part there. Number 6 is the branch pipe, which that's what leads from the magma chamber to the still right over here. Next up at number 7, we got little layers right here, these little gray layers here on number 7. And these are the layers of ash emitted by the volcano. And then they're just kind of chilling right there. Next up at number 8. Number 8 here is the flank. Just kind of this area, this kind of goes all the way around, kind of flank area. And number 9 we have right over here. These are these gray ones instead of these darker gray ones instead of these lighter gray ones. At number 9 is the layers of lava emitted by the volcano. Those are kind of what those are right over there. Coming at number 10, right above the conduit here. Number 10 is the throat. Kind of like when you think about, like, you know, the throat of a human. I mean, clever naming. Then after number 10, we got number 11 here. And this is the prastic cone over here. Kind of just building off the side of the volcano. Number 12 right here. This is just some lava flow. It's nice and simple. 13 here is pretty important. Right here, and there's 2 little spots of 13. This is the vent. This is kind of just like, this is like right where like the lava or the smoke is coming out of the top of the volcano. Number 14 right here at the top as well, right next to 13, is the crater. Just kind of where it starts to hollow in into like this, the center there, and meets the throat, and then meets down with the conduit. And finally, number 15 here. It's a big hard guess what that could be. This is the ash cloud. So after the volcano erupts, this is just kind of the ash that's in the air, just kind of floating around, floating away. But in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 really important parts. And that's the magma chamber, the conduit, and the crater. Now let's leave it back on to Science Bro. As our science homie Cole stated, there's 3 main parts of the volcano. And that first one is that number 1 on that diagram, the magma chamber, which the magma chamber is a region deep inside a volcano where a majority of the magma is stored. What's really cool about that is that the least dense magma kind of rises up to the top, and that more denser magma kind of just rises down to the bottom. And fun fact about all of this is that even after an eruption, if there's still more magma in that magma chamber, the volcano can still remain active, and it can still erupt again at any point. It could be 10 years from now, 100 years from now, thousands of years from now. That's really insane. Next up is the conduit, which was number 3 on our list. It's also known as the vent, which is the conduit kind of connects from the magma chamber up to the surface, kind of through that throat area all the way up through the top, through that crater, during like an eruption. It's kind of the channel way, or like the passage is also kind of known as, through like a pipe shape up through that. Kind of what we saw in our diagram. We'll throw the diagram up right now. Kind of we look through that is just like that big number 3 there, just right through there, right from the magma chamber down there, number 1 going all the way up. And like when the volcano erupts, like in the conduit, this pipe just kind of becomes filled with magma and rock fragment and gases that it just goes all the way up. And that's really kind of insane that it just travels up that high. Lastly, our third main part of the volcano, which was number 14 on our diagram, would be the crater, which is just kind of like this really big hole. I'm about to say crater because it's just a giant hole broken up in the top of the volcano there. And that's kind of where the lava and the ash are erupted onto the surface, and that's kind of where it all kind of it kind of like spreads from that top part right there where just the top blew off. And you get that giant crater. I'll throw a picture on right now, kind of what I'm explaining here, which is pictures from the National Park Services. You can just see this giant crater and how big they can be. It's typically like a big basin type of thing. Basin is a good word to say, or like maybe like a circular in form. It's just this large, just great in depth, just crater. It's a giant crater, and it's a really important part of the volcano. It's probably the most memorable part of anyone who's like heard of a volcano. Is just that deep part there, where they think that called like the magma and all the lava and ash comes out of when a volcano erupts. Thanks for watching. Here's some of my sources that I used for this video. You can go ahead and click through those if you want to learn more about the volcanoes, and just kind of where I got some of the information that I used to explain the 3 ones of like the magma chamber, the conduit, and the crater. There's just like facts and all that I took from these websites, some good sources that I found. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully it's good.